Good morning. Morning, champions. Are you Orleans? I said, are you Alavi today? Crowd cheers louder. Let me ask you a question. What if I told you that everything you've ever dreamed of, lit your soul on fire, is Ellie? Would you believe me? No, I mean real I believe me, because I want you to get this in your body, not just your mind. You are not broken. You are not behind. You are not a victim of circumstance. You are a force of nature. You were born to manifest your desires. And part 11, desire is the signal from the Divian. It's not selfish. Desire, soul speaking. It's the universe tapping you on the shoulder saying, hey, tax yours if your brain knows claim, and I want the relationship, the business, the freedom, the body, the peace, the millions, the purpose. You're not crazy for wanting it. You're crazy if you don't go after it. Desire, that burning, aching, undeniable poo in the whispers. There's more out there for you. For some, it's a dream home. For others, it's finding true love, building a business, helping millions, simply waking up with peace in their heart and purpose in their soul. Maybe here's what I want you to understand you to and understand mistake. It's not a flaw. It's not something to be ashamed of or pushed aside. Your desires are divine instructions. They're the GPS coordinates your soul has already programmed into your existence. It's the language the universe uses to grab universe, say, this is the direction, go there. But too often, we're taught to silence those desires. We're told they're too big, too selfish, too unrealistic. We're told to be practical. To us. And so we start burying our dreams under jobs we hate, relationships that numb us. Maybe that was, and routines that keep us comfortable, but something, have you ever had a moment, just a flash, where you imagined your life radically different? You were standing on a stage or living or walking hand in hand with someone who sees your soul, or waking up at peace, knowing you're living your purpose. You weren't just thinking if you fantasy. That was a preview, a sneak peek of what's possible when you start listening to your inner guidance. Here's the truth. Most people never hear the desire unless the path to fulfilling it already existed. Let me repeat that. If you can see it in your mind, it means the seeds of that really need to figure out every step right now. You just need to honor the desire. Trust it. Feed it. Follow it. Let me give you a daily life example. Demi says they want to be an astronaut. No one laughs at them. In fact, we smile. We encourage them. We say, yes, you can be anything. But somewhere live gets traded for fear, for practicality, for smallness. What if we never lost that childlike faith? Maybe if we treated our adult desires as them. I know a woman who was working in a bank. On paper, she had a great job, security benefits, a nice apartment, but every night she would go home fan fabric color. It lit her up. That was her desire speaking. But she ignored it for years. One day, after a particularly tough week, she didn't hate this anymore. I'm dying inside. So she made a small shift. She started posting her designs on Instagram. Then came a client. Then boot DM. She runs a 6-figure design business and wakes up every day doing what she loves. All because she honored her destetter. Now listen. Her story isn't rare because she's special. Her story is rare because most people never act on the spark they feel. They treat desire like an incongruent. But what if you saw it as sacred? Think of desire like a fire inside you. You can either feed it or smother it. If you feed it bit, day by days, if it's your courage, your action, your transformation, if you smother it, it doesn't just go away. It turns into bitterness, resentment, that nagging feeling that they don't burn out because they do too much. People burn out because they're living lives that don't light them up. And you know what? The world needs more people you defy. Because when you follow your desire, you give other people permission to do the same. You become proof that it's possible. It makes sense to others. It wasn't given to them. It was given to you. Maybe you want to quit your job and try to write a book, start charity, launch a podcast, move to another city, fall in love again, heal your body. You don't need to justify it. You just, yes, I want this. Desire is divine. It's not just a wish. It's a calling. It's how the universe nudges you to yourself. So next time that quiet voice rises up inside you and says, there's more, don't silence it. Don't doubt it. Listen, because when your desires, you don't just change your life, you change your frequency. And when your frequency changes, the world starts to rearrange itself. Am I to want this? Instead, who am I no T2? Desire is divine. Trust it. Act on it. It's leading you home. Clarity isn't just a nice thing to point of every dream that's ever come true. It's the ignition switch to your manifestation engine. Without clarity, even the most powerful car can't move. Without a strongest person gets lost. Here's the hard truth though. Maybe most people don't get what they want, don't worthy not because they aren't talented, but because they don't actually know what they want. Let me ask you a question that sounds do you really want? Not what your parents want. What society says you should want. Not what's safe or comfortable, but what you want at the Southland. At that question, they throw out vague ideas like, I just want to be happy, or does that mean, what does happy look like? What does success feel like? If you can't see it, you can't build it. Imagine a travel agent and saying, I'd like a ticket, please. They'd say, to where? And you respond, I don't know, just somewhere nice. Because you don't have a destination. The same thing happens in life. Clarity is about painting the destinations, fill your mind, your body, your emotions, and even the universe itself start to align with it. Let me give you a real life example. There was a man working in sales. He was a pot check, okay hours, but he felt stuck. Every year he set goals like, I want to make money, or I want to soar motors, but nothing changed. Why? Maybe that was more money. Something then, they're clouds. You can't hit a cloud. One day a mentor asked him to describe in exact detail, maybe his perfect life looked like. Not a specific. Where would he wake up? What would he see when he opened his eyes? What time would he start his day? What kind of work would he do? What kind of people be around? How much money would be in his bank account? Exactly. That exercise changed everything. He realized he didn't just want more money than $250, $1,000 a year doing digital marketing from anywhere in the world, working with creative entrepreneurs. He didn't just want freedom. He wanted 6 weeks off every year to travel with his kids. Once he got clear, the universe had something to work with. His mind locked on. His actions, chory, he was just screaming it. That's the power of clarity. When your mind sees it, your brain begins to search for ways for your desires in clear, precise language. You give your subconscious something to organize around. And when your emotions get attached to that, it's magnetic. Let's go even simpler. Say you want to get fit. That's not clarity, that's a wish. Clarity eyes a wish. I want to lose 20 pounds by September 10 times a week and following a high protein diet. I want to feel strong, energized, and confident in my clothes every day. That's when action becomes inevitable. Think about it this way. Your mind is like a missile system. If the target is locked in, the missile stays focused until it hits. But if the target is fuzzy, the system malfunctions. Clarity turns dreams into blueprints, and a blueprint is what allows builders to own structure. So why do people resist getting clear? Because clarity demands responsibility. Once you define it, you can't hide anymore. You can't blame life for your past. But guess what? Owning it is where your power begins. Clarity is courage in disguise. When you take the time to define what is to the universe, I'm serious now. I'm done playing small. I'm ready. And clarity is contagious. When you're clear, people will believe for you. They want to help. Why? Because clarity is leadership. No one follows confusion, but they'll follow conviction. Every great inventor, artist, athlete, every person who's ever manifested something incredible started with one thing: a clear vision, a target, a decision. So here's your challenging time. Take Toto, or not next year, not when I have more time. Write it out. Describe your dream life in vivid, high-definition detail. Feel it, smell, and the number. Name the city. Name the time on the clock. Get crystal clear. And then read it every single day with destiny. Because clarity is power. And power is what turns intentions into manifestations. When you're clear, nothing can stop you. Not fear, not doubt. Comes or fog lifts, the path appears. And the world starts to move because now you are moving with purpose. Emotions aren't just feelings. They're frequencies. They're the silent forces that shape your actions, your reality, and the energy you project into the world. If thoughts are the blueprint of creation, emotions are the power source. They're the fuel that turns a vision into a vibration, and vibration into attraction. If you want to manifest something into your life, you have to feel it before you see it. That's the key. That's the secret hiding in plain sight. You don't wait for the dream to come true to feel joy, gratitude, confidence, and certainty. You feel those emotions now as if the dream has already arrived. Because emotions are magnets and they attract experiences that match their frequency. Let's break this down into something simple and real. Imagine you're trying to tune into a radio station. You want to hear music at 101.5 FM, but your dial is set to 89.9 no matter how hard you strain, no matter how much you wish or beg. You're not going to hear the song until you tune into the right frequency. Your emotions work the same way. If you're emotionally stuck in frustration, fear, doubt, or lack, then you're broadcasting that frequency. And guess what? You'll keep attracting situations, people, and outcomes that confirm and match those emotions. Because life is unfair, but because you haven't changed the channel. So the question isn't just, what do I want to manifest? The real question is, what emotions would I feel if I already had it? And then how can I feel those emotions now? This is not about pretending or faking. It's about aligning. It's about rehearsing the future emotionally so that your body, your mind, and your spirit become a vibrational match to the reality you desire. Let me give you a real life example. A young man once told me he desperately wanted to become a successful speaker. He had the story, the talent, the dream. But no clients, no stage time, and a lot of self-doubt. I asked him, if you were already one of the best speakers in the world, how would you feel right now? He paused and said, confident, excited, grateful, powerful. So I said, I want you to start your mornings feeling those emotions. Stand tall. Put on your suit. Practice your talk. Visualize standing in front of thousands. Feel the applause. Feel the gratitude. Feel the joy. Not later, nah, and you get the did it. He did it every day for weeks. He spoke with that energy in front of the mirror, in conversations on social media, and you know what happened? A text organizer found one of his short clips online, loved his energy, and gave him a shot. That was the breakthrough because of a perfect strategy, but because he broadcasted a frequency that magnetized the opportunity. He didn't wait for external proof to feel worthy. He chose the emotion first. That's the game changer. Your emotions literally condition your nervous system. They train your body to believe, and when your body believes, the universe responds. Think about how do you show up when you're confident. You stand taller, speak stronger, move faster, take risks. Compare that to how you show up when you're doubtful, hesitant, slow, withdrawn. Same person, different frequency, different result. If you want love, don't wait until someone arrives to feel love. Be loved now. Feel the joy of deep connection in your heart now. Be the kind of person who radiates warmth, kindness, and magnetism, and you'll attract someone on that same emotional level. If you want money, don't wait until your bank account fills to feel abundance. Feel abundant now. Celebrate every small win. Walk with the energy of someone who knows that wealth is already on its way. Gratitude and certainty are the emotional equivalents of compound interest. They grow when you use them, and remember, emotions are created by focus, language, and physiology. That means you can shift your emotional state anytime you choose. What are you focusing on? What are you saying to yourself? What's your posture, your breath, your movement? You can't feel powerful if your shoulders are slumped, your eyes are down, and your inner dialogue is toxic. But if you stand like a champion, breathe like a lion, and speak to yourself like someone worth believing in, your emotions rise. And when your emotions rise, your reality begins to shift. This isn't just theory, it's how athletes get in the zone. It's how actors step into character. It's how visionaries create futures that didn't exist 5 minutes ago. They fall at first. That's why emotions are magnets. Because the energy you radiate is more powerful than the words you say. People feel your vibe before they hear your voice. And the universe responds to vibration, not vocabulary. So today, make the shift. Don't wait to feel good when things happen. Feel good, feel aligned, feel powerful, and then watch what happens. Because when you control your emotions, you control your energy. And when you control your energy, you control your attraction. Emotions aren't the result of manifestation. They're the beginning of it. Choose your frequency, charge it with emotion, and watch your world catch up. There's a moment in every dreamer's life where wishing has to end and doing must begin. That's the moment where fantasy transforms into reality, and it's called taking massive action. Not half-hearted steps, not someday intentions, but bold, deliberate, committed action that tells the universe, I'm serious now. Let me say this as clearly as possible. You cannot manifest your desires by sitting around thinking about them. Visualization is powerful. Feeling is magnetic. Action is the amplifier. It's the declaration that you are not just a thinker, not just a dreamer, but a doer. Imagine someone who wants to run a marathon. They buy the perfect running shoes. They follow all the top runners on social media. They read every book about endurance and nutrition. They even visualize themselves crossing the finish line, arms in the air, music blasting. But they never put their feet on the pavement. Never run a single mile. Would they ever make it to race day? No, because desire without action is like having seeds but never planting them. It doesn't matter how much potential you hold. You must move. The universe responds not just to your intention, but to your effort. Every step you take is a signal. Every decision to move forward, even when you're scared, even when it's messy, is a message that says, I'm ready. That message activates momentum. That momentum pulls people, opportunities, and breakthroughs into your life. Think of it like standing in front of automatic doors. They don't open when you just stare at them. They open when you walk toward them. That's how life works. Doors open in motion. Let me give you a real life example. A woman I know had always dreamed of opening a bakery. For years, she would talk about it at dinner parties. One day, she'd say, she had recipes, ideas, a vision board, everything but action. Then one day, after being laid off from her corporate job, something in her clicked. She said, no more waiting. The next morning, she baked a batch of cupcakes and brought them to a local farmer's market. Just one small step. That one action led to a customer, then another. Then a coffee shop offered to stock her goods. Within 6 months, she had her own brand. Within a year, a small storefront. Was it perfect? No. Was it hard? Absolutely. Action made it real. She didn't wait until she had the perfect plan. She moved with what she had. And that's what separates those who manifest their dreams from those who just admire them from a distance. The truth is, most people aren't lacking ideas. They're not lacking desire. What they're lacking is courage to act without guarantees. Because, yes, when you take action, you risk failure, you risk rejection, you risk discomfort. But you also unlock the one thing no amount of planning can give you: progress. Here's something most people overlook: action builds confidence. Not the other way around. You don't wait to feel confident to take the step. You take the step, and that's what makes you confident. Because you realize, whoa, I didn't die. I survived. I learned something. Each action is a brick laid in the foundation of your new life, and those bricks matter more than perfect timing. One of the greatest myths is that successful people always feel ready before they act. They don't. They move scared. They move unsure. But they move anyway. Because massive action beats perfect intention every single time. You want to write a book? Start writing one messy page a day. You want to get fit? Don't wait for Monday. Go take a walk right now. You want to build a business? Make that uncomfortable phone call. Send the email. Launch the idea. You don't need to know every step. You just need to take the next right one. Taking massive action is not about doing everything at once. It's about doing something bold that breaks your old patterns. It's about doing things that scare you, because that's where the growth is. It's about showing up even when it's inconvenient, even when motivation is low, even when results aren't instant. And the beauty is, action creates feedback. When you move, life starts to reveal what works and what doesn't. You learn, you adapt, you evolve. When you stay in your head trying to get everything perfect, you stall, you doubt, you shrink. Manifestation is not passive. It's a full contact sport. You have to sweat. You have to stretch. You have to risk. And when you do, you step into a version of yourself that most people never meet. The version of you that makes things happen. So ask yourself right now, what's one action I've been putting off? What's one move I can make today that proves I'm serious about my vision? Then do it. Do it scared. Do it imperfect. Because action speaks louder than anything. And massive action, it shouts. Don't wait for the perfect moment. Create the moment through movement. That's how dreams are built. That's how lives are changed. That's how you tell the world and yourself, I'm no longer waiting for a miracle. I am the miracle. Now move. Your life right now is a reflection possible. Not what you wish was possible. Not what you hope for in quiet moments, but what you deeply, subconsciously, and emotionally believe to be true. And that empowering or limiting is shaping your reality like an invisible architect behind the scenes. Most people don't even realize this, but on the show, they're making decisions not based on truth, but on conditioned thought patterns. They're stuck, not because they lack talent, intelligent resources, but because somewhere along the way, they started believing a story that limits them. You see, beliefs are like software programs of your life. They determine how you interpret the world, how you respond to challenges, how much success, love, wealth, or happiness you allow yourself to receive. That internal software, you'll keep experiencing the same glitches over and over again. Let's say you believe deep down that I'm not good enough, picked up from a teacher who dismissed you, a parent who criticized more than they praised, or a failure that wounded your confidence. Still active. You'll unconsciously sabotage opportunities. You'll hesitate when it's time to act. Maybe that was your Ori. You'll settle for less than you deserve and you want, but because it's what you believe you can have. Now here's the kicker. Your brain is wired to prove your beliefs and bias. If you believe you're bad with money, your brain will focus on every bill, every financial mistake, every moment of lack. In Illinois, you believe relationships always fail, you'll focus on flaws, run when it gets hard, or attract partners who validate that empowering truth beliefs are not facts, they are decisions. And just like you learn to believe something, maybe you could choose to believe something new. You're allowed a young boy who struggled in school. He didn't test well, was labeled as average, and was often overlooked by teachers. You start a business, and after some early wins, it exploded into a multi-million-dollar empire. One day, someone asked what changed. He said, I stopped believing I was stupid, measured memory, not value. I believed I had something to offer. Measure everything, one shift in belief, one moment of saying, I choose to see myself differently. That's the power. Let's make this even more practical. Imagine full of room, full opportunity, new connections, investors, mentors, and big ideas. One believes, people like me don't belong in rooms like this. I was born to be in rooms like this. Same room, same chance, totally different outcomes. Why? Because the first person will hold back, leave early. The second will network, speak boldly, ask questions, make moves. The difference wasn't talent. Beliefs become fighters see. And the moment you shift a belief, your entire experience changes. Life opens up. That's why awareness is the first you carry, the ones hiding in your language. Pay attention to when you say things like, that's just how I am. Things never, I'm just not lucky like them. I don't have what it takes. These aren't harmless phrases. They are scripts, and you're the actor praying them out day after day. But here's the beautiful part, you're also the director. You can tear up the old script and write a new one. Start by asking yourself, what order to create the life I want? Not in a hypothetical way, but emotionally, viscerally. If you want to become financially, money flows to me easily because I provide value. If you want love, maybe it's so. I am worthy of deep, lasting connection. And I have something powerful to share. Then here's the secret practice, that belief. Until it becomes normal. Say it every morning. Visualize when you slip in the old belief and replace it with the new one immediately. This isn't positive thinking. It's neurowiring. It's identity recompletion. And don't wait for proof to believe it. Belief comes first, reality catches up. Think about it. Every breakthrough in history, every work of art, started with someone believing something that didn't exist yet. The Wright brothers believed man could fly old planes. Edison believed he could create electric light when everyone lived in darkness. These weren't facts at the time. They were beliefs, but beliefs outcome. Outcome shapes your life, so today take inventory. What belief is holding you back? What belief would pull you forward? Choose your beliefs with intention, not by default, because your beliefs are not just the foundation of your reality. And when you choose empowering beliefs, you don't just change your thoughts, you change your world. You can have the strongest vision, the most burning desire, and the boldest action plan, but if your environment doesn't support your growth, it will slowly suffocate your dreams. Think about a seed. Even if it holds the full potential to become a massive tree, it won't grow in dry sand and won't flourish in toxic soil. It needs sunlight, water, nutrients, space. The same is true for you. Your dreams are the seeds. Your environment is the soil. If your surroundings don't match the energy of what you're trying to create, the dream won't survive. Most people don't fail because they're lazy. They fail because they're trapped in environments that pull them back in old patterns. Environments filled with fear, distraction, negativity, or stagnation. And the worst part, they get used to it, it becomes normal. You can't manifest greatness when you're constantly surrounded by people who settle. You can't become your best self in a place that only reminds you of who you used to be. If your environment doesn't inspire you, challenge you, call you higher, it's time to upgrade. Now let's break this down in real, practical terms. Your environment isn't just your physical space. It's the people you spend time with, the media you consume, the energy in your home, the language people speak around you. It's your habits, your routines, your digital world. All of it contributes to your emotional frequency. And that frequency determines your ability to manifest. Imagine someone who wants to become financially independent. Their environment is filled with people who constantly complain about money, fear taking risks, and make sarcastic comments about rich people. They watch the news every day telling them how the economy is crumbling. They scroll through social media comparing themselves to others. Even if they have the skills and desire, their environment is shaping their thoughts and expectations. Slowly, without realizing it, they begin to adopt the same scarcity mindset. Their ambition fades. And the dream gets delayed. Now picture someone else. They don't come from wealth, but they immerse themselves in books about success. They follow people who inspire them. They join groups of others chasing big goals. They set up their space so it feels like a launch pad, not a trap. Every day, their environment reminds them of who they're becoming, not who they were. That person is setting themselves up to win, not by willpower alone, but by alignment. That's the key. Your environment should match your desired identity. If you want to become fit and healthy, your kitchen, your friend group, your calendar, they should reflect that. If you want to be a world-class writer, your space should have fewer distractions and more inspiration. Your desk should whisper, right? Your bookshelf should scream. The energy in your space should support your mission, not steal from it. You see, success isn't just about what you do. It's about what you surround yourself with. Because what surrounds you shapes what settles inside you. There's a story I love about a young man who wanted to become a musician. He was passionate, driven, and talented, but he lived in a small town where no one took music seriously. His friends didn't get it. His family told him to be realistic. He started to doubt himself. Until one day, he made a bold move. He packed his bags and moved to a city filled with artists, creatives, producers. Suddenly, he was surrounded by people chasing the same dream. Night jam sessions, studio talks, energy that fed his fire. Within 2 years, he was signed to a label, not because he changed, but because his environment did. Now, maybe you can't move to a new city, but you can still shift your environment. Unfollow accounts that drain you. Spend less time with people who pull you down. Clear the clutter in your home. Put affirmations on your walls. Listen to podcasts that fuel your growth. Create your space and your energy like your future depends on it, because it does. One of the fastest ways to accelerate your manifestation is to step into environments where the version of you that you're trying to become already exists. Want to think like a millionaire? Spend time in rooms where abundance is normal. Want to feel healthy? Go places where health is celebrated. Want to be creative? Surround yourself with people who value expression and innovation. Because proximity is power. Your environment should make your goals feel natural, not like a constant uphill battle. It should stretch your imagination, raise your standards, challenge your comfort zone, because you rise or fall to the level of the people and energy around you. This doesn't mean cutting people out cold. It means choosing to invest your attention and energy where your vision is valued, where your efforts are mirrored, where your belief is reinforced. And sometimes the most powerful move you can make is simply rearranging your space, lighting a candle, cleaning your desk, playing music that energizes you, removing distractions, because every shift, no matter how small, sends a signal to your subconscious. I am making room for the life I want. That's the magic of environment. It can either trap you in the past or launch you in the future. You get to choose. So ask yourself today, does my environment reflect my vision or my excuses? Then make one change, just one. And let that change begin to shape your outcome. Because when you align your surroundings with your desires, you don't just move faster, you move with flow, with ease, with momentum. Your environment matters. It's not just where you live, it's the space where your future is being built. Make it powerful, make it purposeful, make it sacred. If there's one emotion that can instant shift your mindset and open the floodgates of manifestations, gratitude. Gratitude is not just a polite gesture. It's not just something we say for celebration. Gratitude is a spiritual superpower. It is the emotional signature of abundance. And when you live in a state of genuine gratitude, there's more to be grateful for. Because what you appreciate appreciates. Gratitude is the bridge between where you want to go. Most people believe that they'll feel grateful after they've manifested the dream, the success, the love, the breakthrough. But the truth is that grateful first. You must cultivate the energy of already having received it. Why? Because that energy is a magnet. Maybe it's a frequency match to the lich to the midst of the mistake many people make. They focus all their emotional energy on what's missing. They walk around with thoughts like, I'm not where I want to be. Why isn't it happening yet? And those thoughts create feelings of lack, scarcity, frustration. That vibration, and guess what? They keep attracting more to lack, more stress. But when you shift into gratitude, you tell the universe, I see what's there, I'm open to receive more. And that small energetic shift begins to rewire everything. Your thoughts, your emotions, your nervous system, your opportunity. Let me show you how this plays out in real life. There's a young woman I know who had been stuck in a cycle of debt. Every time she opened her banking app, she became in anger. She kept saying, I just need more money. If I could just make more, I'd be happy. But her energy was heavy. One day, her coach challenged her to do something radical for the next 30 days. Bless every dollar she touched. Whether it was a single coin or a paycheck, she feel deep gratitude for it. She had to say, thank you, every time she spent money on bills, especially on bills, because it meant she had electricity easy at first. But something wild happened. Her emotional state changed. She started seeing money differently. Opportunities showed up. Clients, she paid 3 months off 2 credit cards and began building savings. She didn't win the lottery. She didn't stumble on a magic formula, she frequency. And gratitude was the key. You see, gratitude doesn't ignore reality. It is already present. Even when life is challenging, there's something to be thankful for. The breath in your lungs, the lessons in your struggle, the fact that you woke up today with another chance to create. And here's what most people don't understand. You don't need to feel 100% to build the habit. Gratitude is a muscle. The more you use it, the stronger it gets. Start small. Write that down 3 things each morning to reflect on what went right. Speak your appreciation out loud. Call someone and thank them for their present life. Look around your room and say thank you to the roof over your head, the light in your space, the device you're using to read these worditude. This future gratitude, thank the universe in advance for what's coming. Thank it for the promotion you haven't yet. It's on its way. For the health that's returning. That's not delusion. That's alignment. You're energetically preparing your feverish response to preparation. There's a story about a village in the middle of a drought. The people prayed and prayed for rain. One day, a little boy walked to the center of the field with an umbrella. When asked why, he said, I'm just getting ready for the rain I prayed for. That's what gratitude is, the umbrella of faith, the energy of expectancy, the act of saying, I believe in what I can't see yet. Science backs it too. Studies show that gratitude improves your sleep, your immunity, your relationships, your resilience. It literally requires reducing anxiety and depression. Why? Because it shifts your focus. Your brain is a meaning-making machine good. It starts spotting opportunity where others see obstacles. Think about the people you love being around. Are they grateful or constantly comproy more connection, more progress? The one who sees problems in everything or the one who finds blessings in the chaos? The truth is, gratitude isn't passive, a conscious, deliberate act of seeing through the eyes of abundance. And when you see your life through that lens, you don't just feel better, you manifest start moving with a different energy. You'll radiate appreciation. You'll walk through your days not begging for more, but celebrating what is. And ironical begins to show up not out of desperation, but out of alignment. So take this with you. May gratitude is the access point. It costs nothing. It requires no conditions. And it works right now, wherever you are. Say thank you for the breath, for the past, and for the power. Because when you tune your heart to gratitude, the universe tunes its frequency to your favor. Abundance flows. Love flows. Miracles flow. And it all begins, thank you. Close your eyes for a moment and imagine this. You're standing on the edge of your greatest dream, whether it's launching your business, walking onto a stage to speak, stepping into your dream home, or holding the hand of the person you've been waiting for. Now imagine you can feel the moment, the joy, the excitement, the pride, the sense of finally arriving. That feeling you just conjured up. That's not fantasy. That's the creative blueprint of your future. That's the power of visualization when done with intensity. You see, most people dabble in visualization. They close their eyes, see a picture for 5 seconds, and then move on with their day. But the ones who manifest massive breakthroughs, they immerse themselves in the vision. They feel it. They taste it. They live inside it mentally before it becomes physical. Because here's the truth, your mind doesn't know the difference between a vividly imagined experience and a real one. Neuroscience has proven it. When you visualize something with enough intensity, the same neural circuits fire in your brain as if it were actually happening. That means your body, your emotions, your energy field all begin to shift as if you're already living your vision. And that shift is what attracts the external match. It's not just about seeing a picture in your mind. It's about activating emotion, engaging the senses, and anchoring belief. That's when visualization becomes a tool of transformation, not just motivation. Let me give you a real life example. A young athlete preparing for the Olympics was recovering from a major injury. She couldn't train physically, but she refused to give up. Every day, she would sit in silence and visualize her race, down to the breath she would take before starting, the feel of her feet hitting the track, the sound of the crowd, the exact moment she would cross the finish line. She would feel her heartbeat rise, imagine her legs pumping, the burn in her muscles, the thrill of pushing past the limit. When she returned to physical training months later, her performance hadn't declined, it had improved. Why? Because her mind had been practicing the whole time. She didn't just keep the vision alive, she became the vision. That's the level of intensity I'm talking about. If you want to manifest wealth, don't just visualize a number in your bank account. Imagine walking into your dream home, smelling the scent of fresh wood floors, hearing the sound of your laughter bouncing off the walls, feel what it's like to pay for something without checking the price. Imagine giving to your family freely. Let your body soak in the safety, the freedom, the power of financial abundance. If you want to manifest love, don't just imagine a vague figure holding your hand. Visualize the moments, the silly conversations at midnight, the support during hard times, the joy of being fully seen. Feel the warmth of connection, the thrill of intimacy, the softness of belonging. Make it real in your nervous system. That's the difference between casual daydreaming and intentional creation. Visualization is not about wishing. It's about rehearsing. You are rehearsing the life you are choosing to live. You are becoming emotionally familiar with success, with joy, with fulfillment. And the more familiar it becomes, the less resistance you have. The more normal it feels. That's when things begin to unfold, because your subconscious accepts it as truth. And when your subconscious believes something is true, it finds a way to make it happen. Think of a rocket launching into space. Before it ever takes off, teams of engineers simulate the launch hundreds of times. They visualize every step. What could go wrong, what needs to happen, where the shift occurs. They rehearse success into reality. Why should your dreams be any different? Create a vision practice for yourself. Take 5 minutes every morning and every night. Close your eyes, breathe deeply, and step into your desired future as if it's already here. Engage all 5 senses. Hear the sounds, feel the texture, smell the air, see the colors, taste the victory. Let the emotion rise. Let your cells light up with belief. You're not just visualizing, you're becoming. Because the truth is, you can't outperform your own imagination. If you can't see it in your mind, you won't reach for it in your life. But when you can see it, feel it, believe it, it becomes inevitable. You start to take actions that align with that future. You speak differently. You walk with more confidence. You magnetize people, ideas, and moments that reflect your vision back to you. There's a reason top performers, entrepreneurs, artists, and athletes swear by visualization. It's not a gimmick. It's a neural exercise. It's a spiritual declaration. It's your way of telling the universe, this is who I am. This is what I expect. This is what I'm becoming. And here's what's truly beautiful. When you visualize your future with intensity, you don't just manifest the outcome, you fall in love with the process. You become more resilient, more focused, more alive. Because you're no longer chasing something outside of you, you're creating something from within. So don't just hope your dream will arrive one day. Feel it, live it, not for a second, not halfway, but with full presence and emotional power. Because what you repeatedly and vividly imagine, you eventually create.